Saturday Unleashed Overtime starts right now.
Sure does. Welcome to it. This Cowboys scoreboard image. What are we looking at here?
Okay, so AT&T Stadium tweeted out after the Cowboys' big game on Sunday
After they got destroyed.
Yes, after they got destroyed
By the Detroit Lions.
They were saying, and I think it might have been during the game, it doesn't matter, but they were just bragging about it was the largest crowd ever, 93,000, something like that. I don't know if we have the tweet there. Look at that, huh? 93,644. All right. You guys go. Now,
That's
hold on.
a lot.
Now, but look a little closer. Let's just kind of wait a minute.
All
Okay,
right.
there's the fans. There's the scoreboard. Let's keep going. And it's just kind of something's going on with the picture there. Wait.
Oh, man.
They have blurred out
the score.
And, of course, the internet.
That's funny.
Just destroyed them.
Well, they don't want to give any spoilers. What if someone has just TiVo'd the game?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
and they want to watch it.
TiVo'd it.
Yes.
Yeah, because they still live in 2004, right? A lot of people are still in 2004.
You guys don't have
with their
TiVo?
TiVo
No, we don't have
unit.
We do not have.
I do not
just
have
got
a
my
TiVo.
TiVo.
You did not.
Okay, well, welcome to America.
Yeah.
Somebody pulled
Got
one
my
over on
TiVo.
you.
Remember when TiVo was such a cool thing?
It was a cool thing.
Oh, there was
Still
nothing
is.
better than that.
Still is a cool thing.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. We have to have a conversation here. Pat and I will love to rip on Clear Channel. At least I will.
Yeah.
So when we worked at Clear Channel, I was actually in Charleston at the time. And I don't know if it was a company-wide thing, and maybe you had the same thing. You may not have still been with them at the time, but they were making the foray into satellite radio. And so they pulled all of us employees into the old conference room there at Charleston broadcast building.
Yeah, because they started Sirius XM, right?
I don't
or
know if
XM. They started one of them before they merged.
Yeah.
They owned XM.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, and they said, hey, we're doing a contest, company-wide contest. If you got any ideas, then filter them through us, and we'll send them up the chain. And you could end up with, I don't even know what the prize was, probably stock. I have no idea. Sorry, that's a sore subject for Pat. I shouldn't even use that analogy. Anyway, so I said, hey, why don't we do this? Like TiVo, we can make it so that you can pause your satellite radio, right? Maybe you're going through the drive-thru or something. You do your business, and then you go on your way, and you press play. And every one of my coworkers in that room just said, that's ridiculous. They laughed at it all. They were like, okay, we'll send that up, but whatever, Malinak, that's stupid.
Wow.
And, of course, that's what you can do now with satellite radio in your car. Where's my prize? Where's my prize?
You didn't get it.
I didn't get it when I designed.
They lied.
They laughed, and they're probably, oh, that's pretty good. Let's take credit for it. Management taking credit for a great idea. But anyway, so that's what happens now when you have satellite radio.
Right.
And so they stole just like Mattel stole my He-Man figure.
Oh, my gosh.
That I designed.
So would you say that...
a trail of tears here. Oh, probably a bad day to mention.
Yeah, it is. On our day of Indigenous People celebration.
People, yes.
Yeah. Oh, no.
So you're like Al Gore?
What does that mean?
You invented satellite radio.
Did you invent satellite
that's not
radio?
what I
Yeah.
said. That's not what I said. No, I didn't say that.
He sure
I
invented
didn't say it.
He kind of did say it, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
When he
Just
was
like Al
back
Gore.
at Clear Channel, he took the initiative and he invented satellite radio.
No, I invented the pause button, gentlemen. I didn't invent satellite radio. Don't be ridiculous. I invented the pause button.
I took the initiative and I invented satellite radio. That's what I did.
During my service in the United States Congress, I took the initiative in creating the Internet.
There you go, Pat.
Creating the Internet.
Thank you, Keith, for creating satellite radio.
Keith Malinak is Al Gore.
Al Gore. And he created satellite radio.
And you're welcome. I hope you're enjoying the pause button on your satellite radio.
I am.
I think even satellite radio has become obsolete.
Oh, 100.
Because of Spotify and Apple Music and all that stuff.
Can I tell you?
I wouldn't. I used to subscribe to it. My wife would always get so irritated. And I did it anyway, but I don't think I'd ever subscribe now.
I'll tell you
Why would you?
The only thing I use it for, and by the way, don't pay full price if you're going to do satellite radio.
No.
You always call and you use the line that I learned on the Glenn Beck program years and years and years ago from a guest, you always ask these companies, is that the best you can do?
Oh.
And you always get the manager special, or I've got this here. Then we normally reserve it for, okay, I got it. Just give it to me. Anyway, I'm with you, Pat. I have it. I don't use it. I use local radio, and
But you have it for free, probably, from some other offer.
No, I pay.
No? Oh, you do?
Yeah, like, what is it?
Isn't it like $5 or something like that?
Something like that,
Yeah,
like $7, $8 a month.
Shouldn't be very much now, because...
It's like literally $5.
But what I use it for is if I have to run to the store or whatever real quick and the Braves are on, I'll flip it over and listen to that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You know?
Yeah,
or if I'm driving around the country, I'll listen to that or whatever.
Makes sense.
And I do enjoy, I'm a geek, man, and not a lot of people are going to do this or care, but I'll listen to other teams' broadcasts. I'll listen to games, just like I randomly stumbled onto, because the Braves needed the Diamondbacks to lose, the last week of the season they were playing the Brewers. I stumbled into a conversation with Bob Uecker and Bob Costas in the Milwaukee Brewers booth. That was cool.
That's kind of cool.
That was very cool. But I'm with you, man.
Yeah, why?
I don't use it.
I remember when that was like $100 or something like that.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was a lot of money.
I mean, not a month, but it was $100 for, I don't know, 6 months or a year. I don't know.
Because my dad had it.
Yeah, I mean, it was great at first, but with Spotify now, when you could listen to anything you want, anytime you want, why would you ever?
And the shows that
Why would you listen to music radio, for one thing?
Yes.
Or satellite radio?
And I listen.
I hate to say it, but I wouldn't.
To local news talk for just a few minutes at a time, just for the news at the top of the hour.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I mean, talk radio you can understand, because you can't get that from Spotify necessarily, unless you're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's about it.
Even that.
And the shows that, I religiously listen to are podcasts on Spotify.
Yes. I mean, that's almost everybody now, right?
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
podcasting is... Again, I'm a radio guy. For 45 years,
Wow,
I was a radio guy. So I'm really sold on radio. I loved it. It's provided a good living for me, and it was great. But it's obsolete. And they declared AM radio obsolete about 30 times over the years. And it just continued to morph, In the beginning, it was AM radio where you got your top 40 music, and then FM radio killed that. So they eventually made the transition to talk or news or some spoken word on AM. But now even that is kind of gone, because you can listen to any podcast you want, anytime, anywhere. It's just so convenient. And it's so easy now. And, we're so connected to the internet everywhere, including our cars. Why wouldn't you?
And most of the companies have their own apps, right? Like iHeart has their own app.
Yeah.
Podcasting has their own app.
Yeah.
BlazeTV has their own app. So now you're like, okay, well, I can just
go to the app.
Go to the app.
Listen to what I want.
Exactly.
Yep. And really, if you're married to a certain radio station or a certain talk show host or maybe a DJ on a music station, you can listen through an app to the local.
Yes, you can.
If you're into Los Angeles and you move to Atlanta, but you want to hear you can do that easily now.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. You couldn't do that years ago, but now you can listen to whoever you want, whenever you want, wherever you want. It's pretty amazing.
It sure is.
Pretty incredible.
It's and shout out. This all goes back to Al Gore.
Thank you
for
the internet.
Well,
this is a
because when he was in the Congress, he took the initiative and created the internet.
Rock on.
It's a combo. It's like thank you to Al Gore and Keith Malinak.
And Keith Malinak for
you get busy
satellite radio.
Hold
yeah.
on.
Thank you.
No, the pause button.
Thank you for creating satellite radio. It's full circle.
Thank you, Keith.
Yes.
Thank you. I mean,
I invented the pause button.
It's not quite as special to me now as it was when you first created it. But I still thank you for those years.
Wait a minute. You. So I just piled on and dogged my own invention, satellite radio, didn't I? Yeah. What's the point of what I invented anymore?
So hopefully you already made your billions from it.
True. I was just going to ask you your royalty checks. Still
I just purchased property in Maine, as a matter of fact.
There you go. Well done.
And not Montana.
Which is interesting.
Take note, not Montana. In one visit to crappy Maine, where Stephen King is from. That douchebag, liberal bastard. His state is now the state for Keith Malinak.
In one visit.
One visit, Montana's flushed down the toilet.
I think that says a lot about Montana.
I did
They
not
need to
flush
step up.
Montana down the toilet, sir.
He flushed it right down the toilet.
So if it's not number
it's in
one,
the
it's
crapper
flushed.
now.
So if it's not number one, it's flushed.
Over 1 million people
Okay.
right down the toilet. I feel badly for him. I really do. Sad. Sad.
Love Montana. I love Maine.
Not number one spot.
No.
It's just Maine is my favorite child right now.
And what happened to Idaho? You still like Idaho? Because you used to be a big Boise guy, right?
I mean,
Didn't you like Boise State because you like Boise, Idaho so much? Kind of? Yeah.
guilty.
Right? Yeah, I thought
What happened?
so. Thought so.
So here, real quick, and I'll make this very quick. California, and actually, if you want to go back before I even knew you, Pat, it was Colorado that I was in love with.
Colorado's
But California has ruined Colorado.
California ruined it.
Ruined Colorado.
Yes.
And now they
Are
have
ruining Idaho.
ruining Idaho, and Montana is in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, well, that's already begun, though.
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
A lot of celebrities live in Montana now, especially the Bozeman area
And the prices
around Big
of-
Sky. Oh, my
of
gosh.
land up there.
Made it all skyrocket. Skyrocketed. I just read an article a couple of weeks ago about, I don't even remember what started this cascade of different topics, but we might as well keep going down that road. But I read an article about how expensive Bozeman has become because of all the outsiders moving in.
No.
It is so bad that the locals can't eat. A lot of them are living in their cars now because they can't afford any place in Bozeman.
See,
It's
and
very
that
sad.
was the
Very
specific
sad.
town that I fell in love with when we
Bozeman?
were there in June of 2021. And since then, I think
It's a very cool town.
Yeah,
Didn't used to be, but it sure is now.
and now I hear from locals what has happened, just
Yeah.
like you said.
Yeah.
And the same thing
It's
has happened to Boise.
Grown so fast. It was like, I don't know, the 8th or 9th largest town in Montana. I think it's second now, only to Billings. So that's how quickly it has grown, and it's just exploded, and cool things to do in and around it. As soon as they built Big Sky, you familiar with Big Sky, the resort there?
Yeah.
As soon as they built that started the cavalcade of celebrities coming in.
So what we have to do, and this applies to Maine and Montana both, is we have to emphasize how cold it gets at both places.
Yes, you don't want none of that. You don't want none of that. It'll get below zero for 2 weeks out of the year.
Yeah,
that's
straight.
cool.
You don't
That's
want
cool.
that. You don't.
That's
want
so cool.
It is cool. I love it, but
Like,
a lot of people don't.
Yeah, the
Chris,
mind the cold.
let me just caution people who are used to warmer weather. You don't want that.
I love
you
the
don't
cold.
want to go to Montana.
Oh, I love the cold.
I mean, the place that I
you don't
love
wanna go there.
in northern Maine is their average low temperature. Low temperature in January is 11.
Oh, that's so good.
Average.
Oh,
I mean, that'll keep the Californians away. Am I right?
yes, you're right. You are definitely right on that. And that's good. That's why those states remain, reasonably unpopulated.
Yeah, Maine is not.
It's too cold.
Here's a fun fact. A absolute fun fact. I tweeted something out yesterday. It was me standing in front of the Coolidge birthplace sign, blah, blah, blah. And shout out to the person who sent me. It takes a lot to blow me away with fun facts and all this stuff, but this one was something else.
On a Coolidge scale?
Well, no, it was just under that because it was
Okay.
in Vermont. And let's see, who was this?
I was going to say, who knew more about Calvin Coolidge than you? That's impressive.
So U.S. History Timeline. This person tweeted out to me, the once great state of Vermont voted for Republicans consecutively for longer than any state in the nation. 27 straight presidential elections, and the record cannot even be touched until 2072 at the earliest. And so I found this great article that talks about how, and so
when did that end?
That ended
like 80s?
With crud. It let's see, started in 1854. I think it started. It ended in 1964 with LBJ.
Okay.
Because in fact, even during FDR, Vermont and Maine held out. even when he won 48 states or something, or 46 at the time, or whatever it was. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they were Republican then.
Right. Because that
Interesting.
wasn't long after Coolidge.
Wow.
FDR.
Yeah.
But anyway, LBJ, swept the nation, because I wonder if a lot of that was the JFK guilt vote, like he was dead
maybe.
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, 64 is when it ended. And so the longest streaks currently belong to... So this article was in the spring of 2012. So you add 12, 16, and 20. So now at 14 straight cycles, you have Alaska, Idaho, Kansas, Nebraska, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Utah, and Wyoming.
I was going to say, got to have Utah in there, right?
Yep.
Because I can't remember the last time a Democrat was voted for. A Democrat won the presidential election in Utah. Yeah. Does it say on any of those states?
It would have been LBJ. Yeah, 1968 is when the streak started that I just mentioned.
Incredible.
Yeah.
All right, we want to get to this South Park clip, too, before we end things here. From 2005, another one of those things that predicts the future.
Predicts the future. Yes, sir.
Simpsons and South Park have and had a way of predicting things.
Yes, they did.
It's pretty amazing. Check this out.
You here for an abortion, too? Yeah, I discovered a few days ago I wasn't bleeding out my coo, so I guess I'm knocked up. Is this doctor any good?
Mrs. Garrison?
Oh, that's me. Hello, doctor. Looks like I need an abortion.
An abortion?
Yeah, I've got one growing inside me. Now, you're going to scramble its brains or just vacuum it out? If you want, you can just scramble it and I'll queef it out myself.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Garrison.
Mrs. Garrison.
Mrs. Garrison, you can't have an abortion.
Don't you tell me what I can and can't do with my body. A woman has a right to choose.
No, I mean you're physically unable to have an abortion because you can't get pregnant.
But I missed my period.
You can't have periods either. You had a sex change, Mr. Garrison, but you don't have ovaries or a womb. You don't produce eggs.
You mean I'll never know what it feels like to have a baby growing inside me and then scramble its brains and vacuum it out?
That's right.
But I paid $5,000 to be a woman. This would mean I'm not really a woman. I'm just a guy with a mutilated penis.
Oh, God.
Basically, yes.
Oh, boy, do I feel like a jackass.
Okay, a little edgy. A little edgier than I was anticipating.
Oh.
But it makes the point
Our bad.
of how drastically society has changed. You couldn't get away with that bit now.
I mean, that was South Park.
2005,
2005.
like 20 years ago, South Park mocking abortion and transgenderism.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
I noticed. That's my takeaway is, oh my gosh, listen to how they're describing abortion and think of the audience that's watching this.
Right.
Good.
Right.
Describe it that way.
Yes.
I think the other shocking thing...
I'm always in favor of that, of being really graphic with the abortion situation because it drives the point home.
It should shock you.
Yes, that is what happens.
It should shock you.
It's a horrific procedure, especially late-term abortion. It's just, I don't know how it's ever legal.
It's murder.
For sure it is.
I think the other shocking thing there that you just said, Pat, is that 2005, we're coming up on...
20 years.
Oh.
Yeah, next year.
How is that?
In a couple months, it's going to be 20 years ago when you referenced 2005. Oh, my God.
I don't like this game.
That's incredible.
I graduated high school in 2006.
You know, it was right around 2005. I don't know if I've ever told you guys this story, but I was in a conference room in Charleston, South Carolina, with my radio cohorts, and that's where I invented satellite radio.
That's a great story, though.
Yeah.
Keith,
Yeah, we should have known this before.
Yes.
Huh? Really?
I don't like to brag.
Wow.
That is something you should brag about, though.
So if you're enjoying your favorite sports team, like I enjoy on my satellite radio,
or your 70s, 80s, or 90s music,
whenever you want them,
your current hit music,
Patriot, what is it? Patriot channel?
Yeah.
commercial free.
Yeah.
You need to thank Keith Malinak, who invented in a conference room
in Charlotte.
Well, that's where I shared it, and it was Charleston,
okay, South Carolina,
and that's where I shared it.
Okay,
I obviously had thought about this previously,
obviously,
and I just finally,
and I
thought I gave the
idea
to friends, and the next thing you know, they're ripping me off.
So this was shortly after you left the tire industry, right? You were selling tires in Omaha, Nebraska, for a while. If
Never
I'm not
sold
mistaken.
a tire in Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, I thought you did.
I sold tires in Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh,
between Mitt Romney taking away my job with his company when they came in and destroyed Clear Channel.
Okay.
They reorganized it at Bain Capital. So in that gap between radio jobs, I sold tires, in Charleston.
I thought the tire thing was in Omaha. Well, we've learned so much about you today.
I don't think we can learn any more.
No, I don't think so.
Omaha was where I got fired by Radio Shack for falsifying company records.
That's right.
Yeah, because you didn't want to put the phone numbers.
That's what it said on my HR file, because I refused to ask people for their personal information.
So you'll probably never get a job at Radio Shack again.
Is there a job at Radio Shack?
I don't think there's a Radio Shack. And not for you.
But seriously, real quick, let me just real quick. When customers would come up, I mean, you want to buy a battery. I want to get you on your way. Give me $1.99 battery, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm not going to put in.
You didn't input their phone number.
I just put 0000000.
That was awesome.
Thank you. Have a great day.
That was awesome.
And then I got fired.
That is the way it should be.
Yes.
It pisses me off like I can't tell you when they ask me for my phone number for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not going to give you that.
What's their reaction?
And it was about that time.
Surprise. Okay.
It was about that time in my story, Pat, that I was just about to move from Omaha to Charleston, South Carolina, where one day I would invent satellite radio.
Wow, that's a great story.
You got to keep fighting.
That's a great story. It's not true, but people know you.
People
you know what I mean?
know you.
People know you, Keith.
And you speak
so
like
they
you
know
talk.
you speak like they talk.
Yes.
And so you needn't change anything, not a word you said, because people know you. Yeah. They know you. That's beautiful.
Thank you, Pat.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow.